She wants you. You better lay down. What? That's a turn I didn't expect. Homie's like, I need some recovery time. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are here with the season finale of House of the Dragon Season 2. I feel like the season went by super fast, but here we are, episode 8, and whew, I'm ready. I'm ready, guys. Last episode, we had Rhaenyra finally get Team Black a bit of a W after all of the L's they've been taking. She said, listen, if you think you might have Targaryen blood legitimately or otherwise, come out here and let's see what happens. Like, I'm going to let it rock. You guys can rise from the ashes as dragon riders or just be ashes, one or the other. So anyways, it turned out to be a fruitful exercise in that we now have 3 new dragon riders, that being Adam, Hugh, and Ulf. And again, we're not too sure. I mean, Adam looks like he's more than ready to be loyal, but Ulf and Hugh, we're not too sure about what their full intentions are. But for the moment, for the time being, all of them have mutual beef against Aemond and and basically Team Green. So I think for now, we're all working together, but what the future holds, we're not sure. And outside of that, I think that's pretty much all we really had. Those are the main things. Oh, of course, outside of the epic ending of Aemond trying to roll up with Vhagar and realizing very quickly that it was not going to end well for him or that big mouth girl. So he turned that thing around, but now Team Green is aware of the fact that Rhaenyra now can match them for dragons. What that's going to mean for the war, we're just going to have to watch and find out. So I'm ready to jump in. Just before I do, though, a reminder that if you'd like to be notified of when I drop new episodes to the many shows that I react to, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be in the know. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the final episode right now. Where are we? Why is it so tropical? Okay, that's a CGI monkey. Oh, we must be across the narrow sea. All right, I forgot they were going to try to get some people to work with them from Pentos. Not Pentos.
Essos is as rich and is as vast.
Exactly. Y'all think you're important in Westeros?
More than we need you.
Period.
Give us the stepstones.
That is what poor...
Hardly a sacrifice to the lords of Westeros.
That's what Corlys worked so hard to get back.
You'll drive up the price of basic goods?
It is better than starving, surely.
Yeah, this is not in your favor, bro.
Very well.
I don't think you can promise the stepstones, but we'll see.
You can topple the Prince Regent and sit the Iron Throne yourself.
Oh. Is it a tempting offer?
Of course, there is one more.
Of
condition.
course. Of course. This is exactly what they said not to treat with these people.
His name is Lohar. The sailors are fiercely loyal to him. If he does not lead them, they will not fight.
Okay. Oh, who's this? Is Lohar coming in now?
Admiral Lohar. This is Tyler Lannister of Casterly Rock.
Well met, Lord Tywin.
Oh.
What sort of man are you?
Is he a man at all? Who this now? Don't take it personally. All you dragons look the same. What did you just burn down? This useless child. Can we move on? Looking great.
You're a good man, oh wow.
Yes, he is, because he minds his business.
We must leave King's Landing quickly, and we will not return for some time.
Okay. Interesting.
Your brother thought the same. He flew to challenge her and was rebuffed.
Rebuffed? He
Fled in
ran.
terror, from what I hear.
Exactly. Keep it straight.
He has gone in fury to Sharp Point and laid waste to the whole of the town.
Yep, sounds about right.
So what was the fucking point in all this then?
That is exactly the question you should have been asking before all this.
I am the king.
Well,
Why must I run?
respectfully, you can't move.
Because the Prince Regent is going to kill you.
Yeah, absolutely. Without question. Unless that's what you want.
Take me to my throne. And once he returns, I shall take him prisoner.
How exactly are you going to do that?
When Rhaenyra descends on you with her 7 dragons and you without Vhagar, what then?
Yeah. Yeah, thinking is not your strong suit. I don't really care about you, bro, but Larys is actually making sense. Like, leaving is your best course of action right now.
You want to take me to Essos to live with the goat fuckers.
Okay.
It's best to live, I think.
No, let him stay.
My dragon is dead.
Your fault.
I am burnt
Your fault.
and disgusting
Well, that's also your
and
fault.
alone.
Your fault.
My cock is destroyed. Did they tell you that?
Ew. Didn't need to know.
It burst into flames like a sausage on a spit.
Do not despair, Your Grace. There are better days ahead.
That was comeuppance for what you did to all those girls. Period. You're lucky that's all that happened.
They will hail the returning king, Aegon the Victorious, risen from the ashes.
Sure. Oh, he's still out here. No one has decided to check on Bela? No one? Or Rhaena, I should say? No one? How long has she been running out here? You don't even know that water's clean. But I guess if you're thirsty enough, you don't care.
But surely they'd not deny me my pleasure after so long.
Yeah, this is why I knew Ulf was not going to be a good dragon rider, but...
Boy, he is the Prince, Ulf. Prince Jacaerys Velaryon.
Prince Jacaerys Velaryon.
I'll have an apology from you.
Oh, the young prince! And look at that hair.
Excuse me?
As dark as they say. Let them tell us we don't have Targaryen blood, eh?
Wow.
You and I. Cut from the same cloth.
God. Can we kill him?
He's not much use to the manners of court.
Or manners at all.
Or any manners
apparently.
at all, I'd say.
Thank you.
Will you prepare to face such an enemy? Or will you stay here and make yourself easy?
Right?
I will see you hanged and your body fed to the dogs in the streets.
Period.
I meant no disrespect.
I think you did,
My
though.
friends.
You did. You did. Ulf's got to go.
Adam of Hull, at least, is known to you.
Biblically.
It is reported to me that he is a man of
Just
integrity.
tell the truth.
I've had little to do with him, to my regret.
Explain why.
Vhagar is not his only dragon,
It's true.
Has never left Old Town. And his dragon is younger than Vermax.
That's
but a
not...
dragon nonetheless.
Exactly. Let's not underestimate.
Helena. She does not ride. She has no taste for it.
Doesn't mean she
She
won't.
may yet be compelled.
Exactly.
Dreamfire. Hatched when the Conqueror was king. She is formidable.
This dismissing is not smart.
He will not stop at Burning Sharp Point, and he will not be denied.
You speak truly.
Thank you.
We'll rejoin the blockade on the morrow. Let our foes beware, be they Lannister or Greyjoy.
Oh, it's gonna be more than that, babe.
I've given her a new name.
Please don't say it's Rhaenys, 'cause I
Queen who
can't.
never was.
Oh! I hope she survives.
What I do now, I do for her.
Appreciate it.
But the Lannisters are marching, and the High Towers from Old Town.
And you got some
We
Essos
must
problems.
Crush this beast.
I'm like wondering why isn't Mysaria telling her about that? I guess maybe she can't find out. But she needs to find out that Essos is on the way, man.
Just in time to see my new army, Groom. What do you think of it? It's very large.
He's like, it's big.
This place will have you barking at the moon.
Oh, I'm glad you recognize. Leave!
If you declare yourself, your lords will follow you.
I never took you for a turncloak.
Really?
But what we need in this moment is a king.
Okay. And look who caught that whole conversation. Send word by out. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point.
Let no vessel come or go from our harbour without our inspection.
This will hinder the work of the fishing boats. The people depend on them for sustenance.
I don't care about the people!
We must all make our sacrifices.
Except for you. Your belly's full.
I was happier before I was queen.
Right?
Helena, here you are. Mother.
What do you want?
I do not wish to fight.
Our wishes must take second place now, to what is necessary to
And
preserve
what
the
about...
throne.
Okay, actually, he doesn't care about the royal
I
lineage.
won't burn anyone.
I remind you, your sister is still the queen.
As you were once. And you see now what is the consequence of your weakness.
Wow.
That moved you to burn the town of Sharp Point. Peril or basest fury at your own humiliation. But you rain ruin and death upon its small folk when you've been insulted, because it makes you feel strong.
Yeah, still a little bitch.
Our very lives, would you not have us prevail?
Not like this. Not like this!
No, don't try to be a mom now, Alicent. You've never disciplined that boy a day in his life. Thank God for Helena. What you need to do is use that dragon and burn your brother. That's what you need to do. Both of them, actually. Finish it off.
I need passage. In your discretion.
Gonna try to smuggle Helena out? Not against it. Not against it at all. You know, we were doing so well not seeing this man.
Steward's son from Dawn. Fucking the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
I mean,
Former queen.
exactly. And it's consensual, so what do you want?
She saved my life.
I care not. Literally, that was her biggest mistake.
Since then, she has been the beacon I follow.
I don't care. Cut his head off anyway.
Or perhaps all men are corrupt.
Just ones who are arrogant like you.
That is a bleak philosophy.
Yeah, well, he's
I
a
have no
hateful man.
philosophy.
Moving on.
We march now toward our annihilation.
God willing.
To die will be a kind of relief.
Unfortunately for you, you should suffer. Long, but I'd rather you just be gone. I despise mud. I despise it. I have a feeling Tyland's gonna fall in love with this girl. Come on, rich boy. Don't celebrate yet. Yeah, these Lannisters are snaky. They don't play fair.
King's Landing has sent a most doughty ambassador.
Okay, are we done flirting?
Have you ever eaten the flesh of your enemies?
She's only half kidding.
So you reject the hospitality of my
She's
house?
a trip. I love it. Eat up. I love her. She's hilarious.
A jest, my lord.
Hilarious. Why couldn't she be on Rhaenyra's side? I hate that she's on the wrong side. She's a trip.
It does not befit a prince to pout.
But he's cute when he's doing it.
If any common lout can ride a dragon, then...
That does not make me common. Or you.
You know what I am.
I don't care.
Clearly.
Because you believe that if not for the dragon or the trappings of your station, that you are nothing.
That's the heart of it.
Do you believe that you are the first noble heir who was not sired by his noble father?
Exactly. Lay it out for him.
And in resenting it, you only diminish yourself.
Girl, you better preach.
Get up and take your place by your mother's side.
That's wifey. Oh, honey. Not a soul looking for you, huh? I really hope this does work out. I'd hate to just lose her like this.
Before you get some more, so grease the mast and send it out.
I mean, I would be mad about this, except the Lannisters are such arrogant a-holes that they deserve to be humbled like this, so. Sing up.
Well done, Lord Tyrod!
Tyrod! That's his name now. It is. Your mama got it wrong.
I will be pleased to sail at your side.
It's because she has a crush.
And let the sea snake rue the day we meet again.
Bring a dragon, Corlys.
Before you go, Lord Tyland.
Oh, she got it right. She does like you.
You are a handsome man.
I knew it.
And you have proven your worth.
And virility.
Virility.
She wants you. You better lay
I
down.
wish to have children by you.
Yeah, you know how babies are made by now, sir.
Indeed.
That's why she's sailing with you.
I want you to fuck my wives.
What? That's a turn I didn't expect.
How many words do you have?
Homie's like, I need some recovery time.
The three of you are not of noble birth, but you have done a thing never dreamed of before now.
I need off gone.
I have entrusted you with a power only few have known, and I charge you to take it up with fealty and respect. We must break the will of our enemy, or more will die in a struggle that stretches on without end. The Prince Regent cannot defend against all of us.
I'll take him on myself. Silver Wings a go as she is.
Yeah, actually send him in there, please.
You forget yourself. Friend.
Yeah, you can still die. You know that, right?
Sense of humor do you all good.
He's definitely gonna betray you, Rhaenyra, quickly. I know it's hard, but you need to take his head. Sea Smoke will find somebody else.
Adam, come with me.
Can we not send Adam over there, please? No. Damon's crazy. No. No. Send Ulf. Send Ulf. Ulf will probably just switch to Damon's side, though, so it doesn't matter. Are his sheets moving?
I'm going to the God's Wood.
Bye. Go on and follow her. It's what you've been doing since you got here.
When you came here, you were a closed fist. You wished to bend the world to your will.
Okay.
You do not scoff.
I'm no longer inclined to.
Do you wish then to learn what is given to you?
I mean, I am, because I just want this to end. I want this whole storyline to end. Is the tree gonna eat him? What, is he like Bran? He can see through trees now? Ooh! He is like Bran. Wow, he saw clear down to Daenerys? Okay. Gonna cut her head off again? Helena! She's really here, isn't
And
she?
you're but one part in it. You know your part. You know what you must do.
I don't.
Let our enemies see that we will answer outrage with outrage.
And if I refuse,
what will you do then?
will you burn me as you did Aegon?
She knows. She knows.
That is a lie.
I saw it.
Exactly.
You burned him.
And
you let him fall.
Yep.
Aegon will be king again. You'll be dead.
Best news I've heard all day.
You were swallowed up in the god's eye. And you were never seen again.
Period. Bye, loser.
I could have you killed.
Go for it.
It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. Oh, she's the best of those children. Lena, you badass. That moment there was better than any of you or your brother have ever done. Right there. And she didn't even raise her voice. Helena! Wow. Considering it's the first time these two are going to talk since like episode 2 is crazy. That's the downside of having a dragon. You gotta park so damn far away. You gotta be walking for 15 minutes because they can't be landing anywhere. Oh, this looks mighty organized. Where is my loser husband? Oh, there he comes.
I wasn't expecting you.
I'm sure you weren't.
I see you have done well here.
They're sworn to me.
To you?
Okay. And not a moment too soon.
And to whom are you sworn?
Ooh. Calling you out in front of everybody.
Pranon, Merisa, Sola Armazis.
Oh.
Soprumi vejume.
Not in your generation.
Ceci Amerikiso. Elo. Belvilza.
How does that have anything to do with whether or not you're serving me?
The realm's only hope
is with a man.
A leader who can unite it, and my brother chose you.
But okay, thank you. Because I'm like, you did see her on that throne in that vision, right? You saw her on that throne. Okay.
You are the true queen, Rhaenyra.
Hottest
First
thing you
of
said all
time,
season, Damon.
Until death, or the end of our story.
What would be the end of your story? Okay. That's right. Bow down. Thank you, Damon. Loser. Go pitch yourself in the sea right now. His face! It's like, huh? That is not what I expected. But in fairness, Damon never did answer that night. He never did say he agreed. And I'll kill you myself.
Nuki Koston Tawor. Silutan.
And you see how you almost went crazy? That's right. Stick by your wife.
We fight for our queen!
Where are you going, bitch? Come back! Come back! You best find that turncoat. He's a problem. Honey in the back. Yay! I don't even know what's happening, but yay! Look at him. Oh, the way he's been the source of like unexpected comic relief this season. Oh, Corlys, I don't want you to go on this boat, bro. I don't like this. You almost died the last time you fought these people. I don't need him to die, please. Everyone in that family's had such bad luck.
I wish to set out on good terms with my first mate.
Have I been remiss in my duties?
Sir.
Silent. And the men find you distant.
You're fuming, basically.
I never asked to lead, as you well know.
Probably will.
I will endeavor to improve myself.
That's not what he... Oh, Corlys, you're so bad at this.
I am trying to help you.
But also, he's not really giving you a lot of room.
You want to help me?
Come closer. Let it out.
I mean no offense. You may go.
Come on. Say it. Come on.
Do you know what it was like for us?
There we go. Let it out.
Never sure of the bread to feed us. Do you know what hunger does to a boy? Oh, shame.
You are dismissed.
No, Corlys.
I thought fish in the market.
You listen to this, Corlys. You need to hear
I
it.
watched the man beside me walk past with his son and heir, with the fur around his shoulders.
You need to hear this.
And now that boy is dead.
Woo!
And his sister before him.
Woo!
And the heir that took his place. And now you remember I live.
Yeah, valid.
Suddenly to scatter the crumbs of your favor.
Valid.
I will decline any offers of help.
Okay. Believe it or not, that was good. I know it seems bad, but it's good because he refused to say how he really felt before this. There's room now. If Corlys can humble himself, there's room. Oh my God, Rhaena, baby girl. Woo! Is it him though? I hope it's the right dragon. God, she's literally risked her life to find this dragon.
And yet, to claim it, I must strike. And in striking, I doom thousands to their
Exactly.
deaths.
That does not feel good. I feel like there's got to be another way.
He left you with no choice. Be strong. You know you are just. You must prevail.
But how? Like, does it have to be through death? Of innocence?
Who pays the price?
Exactly. Ugh. It's got to be another way. Somehow.
I had to see you.
Okay.
I've been, I think...
You think?
Mistaken. I resented you, I think, for caring so little for any of it. For knowing what you wanted.
Why have you come
Right?
here?
There's a
Because I
point
lost
here
my way.
somewhere.
All those I put my faith in, my husband, my father, my lover, my son.
The incorruptible queen. Sullies herself with a lover.
Thank you. Come back with that.
I too have desires.
Yes, but you alone made virtue your banner.
Let her know.
Walked outside the walls of the city and I felt a weight lifted from me.
How lovely for you.
I thought
right?
I would take my daughter and her child and leave it all behind.
It's too late.
Right?
Alicent.
When she went to the Sept weeks ago, that was the time.
Cities burned, armies march, and you wish to wash your hands
Exactly.
of what you yourself set in motion.
Period.
Leave us behind, as you say. Wander in the wilderness. What has it got to do with me?
Exactly. Curious.
He never stopped loving your mother, you know.
Of course not.
She was the vision that sustained him.
As she should have been.
And yet you believe he wavered at the end.
You wanted to believe that.
Why have you come here?
Right? Exactly.
Helena as queen will be the crown's authority. If you come then to King's Landing, I will see to it that our guards throw down their arms. We will open the gates. We will shed no blood. Once you take the throne, this senseless war must end.
Interesting.
If I am to take the throne, I must put an end to the opposition. I must take Aegon's head. And I have to do it for all to see. You know this.
This is why she wanted to avoid the war in the first place.
Will you shrink from what you set out to do? Or will you see it through and make your sacrifice?
We all gotta grow up here. She's lost a son. You've lost a grandson.
A son for a son.
She ain't blinking. Oh, but it's breaking her heart. Sucks. Sucks so bad. And it never needed to be this way.
And what do I do with you now?
You let me go to do what I promised.
Does she?
That I cast myself on the mercy of a friend who once loved me.
Oh, interesting that you brought that up now after Rhaenyra tried to use it.
I am at last myself.
Good for you,
With
Alicent.
no ambition greater than to walk where I please and to breathe the open air
Fair.
and be free.
Interesting that you have that choice.
Come with me.
My part is here, whether I will or no.
Yeah, her leaving would not
It's
help
decided
anything.
for me long ago.
This is why Alicent and Kristen Cole got along. They're just both completely delusional. Yeah, run away now. Live your little life of freedom. For real, both Alicent and Kristen Cole, they can just walk away from royal duty. Just, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Bye. Yeah, that's an option you have if you're not actually of the blood. Go Hugh. Praying Ulf falls off his dragon. Really can't stand that kid. Hey, Adam. He's so pretty. Depraved loser. Oh my God, please. Please, please let my baby's struggle not be in vain, please. We're not gonna find out, are we? We're at the end. We're not gonna find out if Rhaena actually gets this damn dragon. House Stark! That's my favorite house. I'm the Lannister a-holes. Where's everyone heading to? Harrenhal? Must be. Oh, there's the river. Is that Harrenhal a distance? All right, Daemon for the first time in weeks actually looks like his head's screwed on straight. As much as I don't like Alice, she set him straight. You're still walking? Jeez, where are you heading from? It's a lot of boats. It's a lot of boats. I think we're gonna lose Corlys, guys, and I'm sad. Not his boy, though, please. Why are they making it so tense when it's gonna be the end? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, this is it, girl. You got it or you don't. We're not gonna find out this season, are we? Wait, who's this? He's imprisoned? That's why we haven't... Who has him? That's Otto, right? Who's got Otto? Okay, he did smuggle Aemond out, or Aegon out in the end. I'm not mad at this. He needed a humbling experience since when? But this is gonna mess up her plan though, because she thought Aegon would be there for her to use. Beautiful cinematography in this episode. That's it. All right, well guys, that is our conclusion of season 2. And while we are wrapping up this season, we are definitely setting a lot of different pieces in motion for season 3, which is, I'm thinking, going to be a lot of action. There's going to be, it should be anyways, because we're getting to the point now where all the plans have been laid, all of the moves have been outlined, the players are now dealt. So at this point, we got to start executing on all these plans we keep talking about. And I know some people said that one of their biggest critiques of this season is they felt like there was a lot more talking, it was slow, but I think that is necessary because, as I said, for what's coming in season 3, there's going to be a lot of actions, a lot of movement, and if we don't have the groundwork of how we got there, I don't think a lot of it's going to be understood, or the gravity of how some of these actions and their repercussions that follow, why they have the significance that they do, if you don't understand kind of what led up to it. So I personally didn't have a problem with that, but again, you know, I'm a book reader. I'm someone who's used to, like, back in the day, TV used to take its sweet time unfolding a plot, and I know that these days that isn't necessarily the trend, but I think it makes for better storytelling personally. But anyways, how do we go through this? God, a lot happened in this episode. I mean, this episode was a little bit longer than the rest, but we definitely went through quite a bit. We covered quite a bit to wrap it all up. I think what I'll start with is the new Dragon Riders. That was kind of the shortest part of the episode. As I said in the episode, Ulf is going to be a problem. I have no doubt in my mind Ulf is going to be a problem for Rhaenyra. He's either going to try to betray her or possibly well, I was gonna say head up with Aemond, but Aemond's days are numbered, so I'm not worried about that. But maybe with Aegon, he might actually try to potentially circle back to Aegon whenever he decides to come back to things. But either way, I don't think that Rhaenyra is going to be able to keep Ulf as a servant for long. Right now, as I said, there's a common enemy, which is Aegon and Aemond and the current rulership, but it's pretty clear that Ulf has always thought himself he's one of those men that, you know, he's walked around, even, you know, the way they built him up all season with him telling the big stories in the pub and always wanting to be patted on the back and always like needing that adulation. When you have people who are like that, they're kind of the worst people to give power, because it's basically like Aegon, right? It's like Aemond too. Like they both have this need for other people to see them in a certain way, and they're willing to do the most depraved things possible to try to prove that they are those people. And Ulf, you can see, you know, he's grown up his whole life knowing that he's got this connection to a bloodline that he could never touch. And yet he felt like he deserved a certain level of respect and being treated a certain way because of that. And now that he finally has this dragon, you see, like, he has no sense of decorum. He has no sense of understanding of the way the world works. He believes he deserves to be treated like royalty, which technically he is still not, even if he is a dragon rider. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, this is partly because of the way the Targaryens has set up the dragon riding practice in the past, right? Only royalty or royal blood was allowed on dragons. So of course, it's not crazy for Ulf to think that, oh, well, I can ride a dragon, therefore I get all those things, right? But there's still levels, there's still decorum, there's still a whole system that's been put in place for hundreds of years that he's just trying to leapfrog to the top of because he feels like he deserves it. And you can see, like, I wouldn't even be upset about it if he was actually like, if he was somewhat like, like Adam's brother, Alan, right? If he was more like Alan, where at least, you know, he's worked and he has this sense of like who he is. But Ulf is clearly, like I said, he's a glory seeker and he's also just a jerk. Like the way he's talking down to the servants already and just, oh, get me over this, give me this, blah, blah, blah. He's disrespectful, he's rude, he's arrogant. That is the worst person to have power, is my point. He's someone who's going to do a lot of really stupid things just to show you that he's powerful. And so he's the worst person possible to have gotten. I really wish that he hadn't gotten a dragon. I can't tell you how much I wish he hadn't gotten a dragon, but let's not act like he's the first person who shouldn't have had a dragon that has one. So it is what it is. But yeah, I do think they're definitely setting him up at some point to be an internal thorn in Rhaenyra's side as far as her army and the way things are set up. But for now, like, he's playing the game, he's playing ball. But I hope he does realize that just because he's a dragon rider does not mean he can't be killed. He absolutely can. And if it comes down to it, I mean, Jace is gagging to do so. But anyways, so that's the situation with Ulf. I very much like Hugh, though, and obviously Adam. They're both very much, in my opinion, the right people to be given that type of power to. They respect it. They respect the order of things, and not even so much, even if they didn't necessarily respect the monarchy or the way that Rhaenyra might be planning to rule, they understand that they both seem to more understand the weight of the responsibility they've been given by becoming dragon riders, which I think is more important. Respect the level of destruction that you have at your fingertips here, whereas Ulf is clearly not looking at it that way. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with them, but I think they definitely are the qualifiers for knights. I look forward to that. I actually really do hope that the way he was talking to Adam, I do hope Adam takes him out. Like, what happens if you go, you go, bro. But after the war, ideally. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the dragon riders, outside of course, Jace understandably just being fed up with these guys. More Ulf. He's really just fed up with Ulf and how Ulf is kind of proving everything that he was talking about in the other episode about how just letting anybody on a dragon can be a problem. But we see that the real issue that he's dealing with, and thank God for my girl Baela. I love Baela and Jace, you guys. They're so cute. But anyway, I love the way she came in and gave him a talking to and basically was like, bro, like, the real issue here is that you're still dealing with your own sense of self-worth over all the whispers you've been hearing your whole life. And it's understandable, right? Like, in that world where your status, your house, your bloodline, all these things are kind of everything, to have everyone, since you were young, not everyone, but a lot of people basically saying you don't deserve it, saying that you're not trueborn, all these things, it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And as he said to his mom last episode, like, I feel like even now it's made it worse, like more and more. And you saw it, right? When Ulf was like, oh, we're the same now. It's like, no, not even actually. Like, we both are dragon riders, yes, but that's pretty much where our similarities end, right? But anyway, I love that Baela said, look, I don't care what your true parentage is. And I love that she also said, you think you're the first child that was born to that's a noble child that was not born to the noble father? Like, please, like, she's like, you're not the first. Like, maybe yours is the most apparent because of the whole hair thing with the Targaryens, but it's been happening since the dawn of time and will continue to happen into perpetuity. Like, she's like, you're not alone. She's like, if you really want to shut everybody up, be a worthy prince. Like, you are the crown prince. Rhaenyra has named you as her heir. She don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. And if you go out there, show that you are loyal to your queen, that you're a good crown prince, that you will be a good ruler, that you kick ass as a dragon rider, all these things, people are going to look at your merit more than they're going to care about your bloodline. And this war, if anything, has proven that people care more about how they feel and how they're being treated by a ruler than they care about the blood, right? There's purebloods on the throne in King's Landing right now, and the people hate them. So yeah, anyways, it was a good talking to by Baela, and I love that she's kind of there and giving him a little bit of like seeing him, you know, seeing what he's going through, because Rhaenyra, I know that she does see it too, but she's got too many things on her plate to really be babying him about this. So I'm glad that Baela's kind of there to let him voice his concerns, but also let him know that she sees the real reason he's having a problem and that he's the only one who can really change that perception and worry about like what he can do, like not worried about the masses. He'll never be able to please everyone, but if he can do his best as a crown prince and show them that he's the right choice, then that's what people will go with in the end. So anyways, love those two. Very much look forward to their little love story, because I have a feeling, you know, we might kick that off next season if there's time. So that was pretty much that as far as the Dragon Riders and Jace. We can go over to, I guess we can go over to, should I just do? Yeah, I'll just finish up with Team Black and then I'll come back to because Team Green was definitely the smaller part of this episode. So yeah, over at Harrenhal, Daemon is, you know, he's got his army there. And he seems like he's a little bit more like lucid than he's been over the last couple of days. But then we see that the emissary from Rhaenyra shows up, and basically he comes and says like, this is what Rhaenyra sent me for. But then we see that he is his misogynist self, and he's like, look, you know, Rhaenyra's cute or whatever, but I think we need a king right now. Basically, you know, she's cute, but we need a man. A man's gonna unite the nations, not this girl, right? And so we hear this ever since Daemon got to Harrenhal, he's been having consistent dreams about the crown, right? Whether it's talking to Viserys, whether it was talking to a young Rhaenyra, whether it was just being in the throne room, here, you know, having his brother say, you've always wanted it, do you still want it? Then we heard Alice a couple episodes ago saying like, everybody who's ever wanted this crown has not been deserving of it. Anyone who's chased it has not been deserving. The people who are the best kings or rulers were people who never wanted it. He's like, your dad didn't want it. You know, Rhaenyra, she doesn't really want it either, but it's something that she feels like she should do, not so much that she wants to do, right? So she's like, are you sure you're the best person for it? So this has been the debate that's been going on in Daemon's mind. And it's been not just since Harrenhal. We know that's been since he was, since before Viserys named Rhaenyra as his heir. So we see that this whole thing culminated to after hearing this emissary say that he and a handful of his bannermen would stand behind him if he decided to go for a king. He didn't answer, but we saw that the strong guy, Simon Strong, witnessed some of the conversation. I love that he's just a little snoop. But here the conversation sent word to Rhaenyra, which I think is absolutely the right thing to do, proving that he is in fact sworn to Rhaenyra. But we see that Daemon didn't actually answer the emissary when he said that, you know, when he said all that stuff about him becoming king. He just kind of made a smirk and then he walked away. So I know he was definitely considering it. And I like that with Alice. Like I said, I don't like Alice. I'm not going to lie. If I don't see her character again, I would not be mad. But we got to thank her this episode because she got my man straight. She said, listen, Daemon, come with me. She's like, you've been through enough, you know, you've been hallucinating enough, you've been crazy enough. I think you might actually be ready. And like when she started talking about the divine plans and the gods and all these things, normally Daemon, we saw back a few episodes ago, he's like, that's a load of crap. You're just a witch. And then he didn't say anything this episode. And she was like, oh, really? You got nothing to say? And he was like, I don't really feel like it anymore because I've seen some stuff. I've been through some stuff since I've been here, so I'm going to be quiet because clearly I'm going crazy. But anyways, she says, I think now you're actually open enough, like your mind, like she said, you were closed fist when you came here. And it's interesting that she used the fist analogy. I would say that was also a metaphor for his entire mindset. Like he was closed off to the idea of anything but him being right. Like she said, that you thought you could rule the world and you were the one to do it and you weren't hearing anything else. But now she's like, I feel like you're finally open enough to hear the truth and to see it. So she brings him to the Godswood, she brings him to the tree, and this is very reminiscent. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know that this is something that Bran has been able to do, where he basically can contact the tree, and through the tree he can see times, like different times, different areas. It's like this infinite time stream. And we see that he sees the future all the way down to when Daenerys comes along with her 3 hatchlings, all the way to the Winter King showing up. So he sees all of that. And but more importantly, he sees that he goes into the throne room, and who is sitting on the throne? Queen Rhaenyra. So he knows now that this is the future. This is what the gods have planned. So no matter what he might be planning, Rhaenyra gonna be the one sat on that throne one way or another. So thank God he saw that, because it looks like he actually accepted it. As she said, he was finally in a place to accept that, because if she'd shown that to him on day 1, he would have said it was anything but the truth, or that it was open to interpretation. But thankfully he saw that. And then later on, when we see that Rhaenyra comes over to Harrenhal after word from Simon Strong that she thinks that Daemon might be playing some treachery while he was there, she shows up. And I love that she brought Adam for backup, even though I don't know if Adam would have known how to do anything. Bless his heart. But I'm glad because Adam's the more level-headed out of the group. So I'm glad she brought him. But anyway, she goes in and she sees what's going down. And she sees Daemon for the first time in, well, I think Showtime. It's been months. So she sees him finally, and I love they played it in a way that we really don't know which way that Daemon's thinking of going, because all the men there are clearly sworn to him, as he said. But he speaks to her in High Valyrian because she challenges him in front of everyone, which I love. I said, that's right, Rhaenyra, have the balls. She said, who do you serve, sir? They're sworn to you. Who are you sworn to, right? And so, you know, he speaks in High Valyrian, and he basically says in that sentence that, you know, I have my questions, but I realize now unequivocally what the future holds. And he's like, a lot is going to be coming our way and we're not going to be able to withstand it. So we got to do our best to come together now. And the only way that happens is if you're on the throne. You're the one who's supposed to be there. And then he bends knee in front of everyone. And of course, Sir Emissary, the little turncoat, is shocked because he really thought he had Daemon in hand. So I'm worried about him because I think he represents at least one house. But we see that he backed away after he bent knee. So he's going to be a problem in one way, shape, or form. But anyways, he was not happy about that outcome. I don't know if he left because he really doesn't agree with it, or if he's scared that Daemon will tell on him and get him killed. One or the other. But anyhow, so that was great. And I love that Rhaenyra basically said, listen, I'm going to make this straight. This is all cute, but if you ever try to leave me again, I will. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, I already tried doing that. And look, I went crazy. So yeah, I thought that was actually a cute moment. So I'm glad at least Rhaenyra and Daemon are on the same page again now. So, and really it's deeper than just on the same page about the war, because like all the way back to earlier this season when Rhaenys was saying that Daemon's issue is always that he didn't feel like he should be ruled by anybody, even his brother. And now I think finally, between being crazy at Harrenhal and Alis bringing him to that tree, Daemon finally, I think in his heart of hearts, accepts the fact that he's not meant to be on that throne. So he's not going to fight it anymore. He's not going to be, hopefully, doing this stuff in the side anymore that screws Rhaenyra over because he's trying to stroke his own ego. I think he's fully going to be in it now. And that's what Rhaenyra needs. She needs Daemon with his head fully in the game. So good timing for that. Is it too late? We don't know. There's a lot of people marching on Harrenhal right now, as we saw at the end of the episode. So I don't know if it's too late, but I do hope that Daemon's head is clear enough, because it's going to be necessary. Because yes, Aemond does have to fly out to Harrenhal, because we heard that Lannisters are only going to go if they're backed up by Vhagar. So that's pretty much the Daemon situation. As I said, I'm glad that's wrapped up. I was very over the whole Harrenhal thing. I feel like it went on a little too long, if I'm being 100%. I feel like we could have wrapped that up in 2 episodes, but I get it. I guess they were just really trying to show that it took a minute and that would take quite a bit to get Daemon to really let go of this dream he's had his whole life of being king, right? It was a deep-seated wish of his, and it's not going to just dissipate overnight because he's in love with his wife. So fine, but I personally feel like it went a little too long. I definitely could have left, or I definitely could have gone with less of that, but thank God it's over. Going into next season, we don't have to see any more of this. So that was pretty much, is that all Team Black? I think that was the only other things for Team Black. Yeah, the rest kind of intertwines with Team Green. So let's pop over to what Team Green is up to. We'll talk about the stuff in Essos first. I kind of forgot about the fact that they sent somebody out to Essos to try to get them to break up the blockade. That is Aemon's solution to the fact that his people have been starving, is that, oh, just break up the blockade and that'll be it, instead of trying to find more creative ways to feed them. And we see that Tyland managed to secure the help of these merchants. But again, remember Alicent's warning was that these people are not straightforward. It's never a straightforward deal. No matter what you say, there's going to be more. So this is why in the past, Viserys never traded with them, and all the kings before him never worked with them, because these merchants of Essos, they are pirates, right? They're never straightforward. But anyways, Tyland went over there, managed to secure the ships, also managed to secure a new wife, if you ask me. The leader of this, what's her name? Lahor? Something like that. Anyway, she is bringing her whole fleet, and she's got beef, of course, with Corlys, because Corlys is the one that barely managed to beat them back from the Stepstones last season. And so, yeah, there's some regurgitated beef that's coming up with this one, and I don't know that Corlys is prepared, because he's really only prepared to be dealing with anybody who comes from the green side, but I don't think he's not expecting the pirates to come back. So I don't know that they're prepared at all for this. I'm very worried for Corlys. I just don't want to lose any more from the Valerian family. Like, please. Anyway, we'll have to see. If it happens, it happens, I guess. But I'm really hoping that he survives it, as does Alan. And so that's going to happen. We don't have to talk too much about what happened over there. Aside of the fact that they kept saying, oh, we're going to put a little tax on anything that comes in and out. We're going to we all know that the pirates definitely plan on having a much deeper foothold in King's Landing if they get the stepstones back. So that's really where, Aemon's not thinking straight. And obviously Tyland's just doing as he's told. But yeah, that's where things will definitely go south for them if they do in fact get what they want. I'm hoping that doesn't happen though, because yeah, as I said, we all know from Game of Thrones, if you watch that you don't deal with these Essos pirates. It's not a good idea. But anyway, that was that. Aegon, we see that Aegon is, he's actually slowly coming back. I mean, he's never going to be the way he was, but he's a lot stronger. If you look at how he looks when he first showed up after the burning to now, he actually looks a lot better, but he's still obviously not anywhere near where he needs to be. And we see that Larys shows up and says, we gotta go. Brother just went and burnt a town because he was mad. Like, he will, when he comes back here, he's gonna take you out because you were literally the last thing standing between him and doing whatever he wants. He's like, I wanna take you, I'll take you over to Essos. I can have all our money over there. We'll live well, you'll recover. You'll be able to do so without constant threat of your brother trying to take you out. And when the time comes, we're gonna return and the people are gonna be like totally ready for you. So we see Aegon doesn't really want that to happen, but I think what Larys is speaking truth to is it's absolutely true. Aemon would definitely have tried to kill him. Like, he doesn't care anymore. He's being very reckless right now. So, and even if that hadn't been the case, as we found out in the end of the episode, Alicent was going to plan on taking him out anyway. So he's gone. He managed to get squirreled away by Larys. I don't know how that's going to go. As I said, it kind of messes up the plan that Alicent made, because she basically promised that Aegon's head for her ability to take Helaena and her granddaughter and go. But yeah, if there's no Aegon's head to be collected, what happens, right? But again, if they can't find him, I guess Rhaenyra will still be queen by default. But anyhow, he's now out of the palace. He definitely doesn't look happy about it, but he was seduced by Larys's dream of coming back and being glorified and loved. We'll have to see what happens with that. But for now, he's going to be over in Essos. But I really don't see Aegon wanting to come back. I'm going to be real with you. Aegon, I feel like when he gets over to Essos and starts living that high life again, it just gets to, oh, actually, I was going to say sleep around, but I guess he can't do that anymore. I don't even feel bad. I don't feel bad. That was absolutely a comeuppance for what he did to all those women. So I'm glad it don't work no more. But anyways, between his sulking and his love for drink, I think that Larys is going to have a harder time than he thinks getting Aegon to ever leave that place. So anyway, they're gone out of the picture for now. Not mad at that at all, because I honestly didn't have a lot of love for Larys's character or Aegon, so bye. They're gone. Then we see going to Aemond. Aemond is, obviously I mentioned already that he burnt down that town in a temper tantrum. So again, like I said, Aemond ain't. Hate that kid. Anyway, he heads back and he's basically like, okay, Helaena, you need to get on a dragon. And we discover from a conversation between Rhaenyra and Corlys that Dreamfire, who's Helena's dragon, is old, like a couple centuries old from the sounds of things. And my guess is fairly formidable. Maybe not as big as Vhagar, but formidable. So she's like, that's not someone we want to necessarily have to go up against in battle. But thankfully, she's like, Helaena really don't fly. Like, she hates riding. It's not her thing. So we see that this is exactly what Aemon thought. He went to Helaena and basically tried to order her on a dragon. But thank God for Helena's beautifully abstract mind. She said, not doing it. Don't want to. I'm not going to burn people. That's not me. I don't hurt people. I'm not getting on. I don't like riding. You can't make me. And he, of course, tries to force her. Alicent gets in the middle in that moment and basically says to him, like, why would you try to taint your sister for all this? Like, have you not lost enough? And of course he doesn't hear her. He doesn't listen to her because he's mad. And we see that Alicent was planting the seeds for Helaena to leave at that point as well. And of course Helena's like, I don't know, like, where do we go? I have no idea. Right? Poor girl. She just does wherever the wind takes her. That's where Helaena goes. Oh, but also interesting point about Helaena, when Daemon was having his vision walk with the tree, Helaena showed up. And like I said, I honestly think she was in real time. Like, that wasn't even, she literally was in part of that dream, connected with Daemon and told him, you know what you got to do. And we saw that it cut to her right afterwards. So she very much was there during that dream walk. So very cool that we're seeing a little bit more into how Helaena is kind of part of the general magical weave of this world, which is really, really cool because we haven't seen a lot of that. Like, you really have to pay attention to the details to see how Helena has had her foresight in this show. But I feel like that scene very much gave the most blatant like evidence that Helena is operating on a level that is outside of what most people recognize. Like, she's on the Bran level of like being in the magical parts of this world. So anyway, that was pretty cool. So yeah, that happens. And then later on we see that Aemond comes back when his mom is gone, and he again tries to talk to her like a sister, which is hilarious because Aemond ain't never liked that girl. Aemond don't like his sister, he don't like his brother, like, please. So him trying to appeal to her, oh, we're the same blood. Oh, don't you want to save us? Blah, blah. Like, sir, if you knew anything about your sister, you know she don't give a damn about this. She don't care about the crown. She don't care about royalty. She don't care about loyalty. She don't even really care about her family. She just wants to do her little cross stitch and mind her babies. That's all Helena wants. She don't care about none of the rest. But anyway, he tries to do that whole appeal. And of course, she's like, she's like, and if I don't do what you say, you're going to burn me like you did our brother? And of course, like, that's a lie. She's like, nope, saw it that you burned him and you let him drop. I saw it. And you saw his face because he's like, too much detail for her to be lying, right? So of course, then he's just like, he's like, I could get you killed. And she's like, it's fine. She's like, even if you do, nothing's going to change. She's like, Egon is going to live. She's like, he is going to rule, which is an interesting thing that she said that. I'm wondering how true that is. She said Egon hasn't had his chance to succeed, right? Egon hasn't had a chance to succeed is what she said. But she did say that like, he's going to outlive you, basically. She's like, you are not going to live long enough to see what happens. So I do wonder if her saying him ruling is this Egon, her Egon, because you know with her, it could be this Egon, or there could be an Egon in the future. And I'm pretty sure one of Rhaenyra's kids is an Aegon as well. So it could be any of them, honestly. But she just basically said, don't worry, he gonna rule and you're not gonna be around to see it. You're gonna die in the God's eye, which dropping out of the book. So yes, so he looked terrified, which made me very happy. But I'm glad that she said it. And I love the way she just looked at him stone cold and said, I'm not worried. You can take me out right now. Ain't gonna change nothing. You gonna die, Bo. You gonna die. So I love that. I love that. Helena, baddest ass out of that family by far. One of the coldest scenes ever. So I love that. Love that for her. So anyways, that's kind of where House Green is right now because yeah, Aemond without Dreamfire, he literally only, well, we haven't had Darren. That's right. Darren I thought might show up this episode, but he didn't. So now it is his only option is his youngest brother. We heard Rhaenyra say that his dragon, first of all, that Darren is not battle tested, but I mean, most of them aren't. But she also said that his dragon is very newly grown. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that the dragon's not fierce, fast, big, who knows, right? So we'll have to see what happens when we finally see that dragon. I also wonder how team Aemond he's really going to be. Because if his mom does disappear with Helena, is he really going to want to be that close to Daemon? Or Aemond, I mean, because Aemond's not an endearing man. He's not someone who can like really rope in a brother on love and loyalty, right? He's probably just going to try to order him around, which again, we heard that Darren is actually kind and empathetic and much more like Helena, if anything. So yeah, I have a feeling that Aemond and Darren are going to butt heads. I wouldn't be surprised if Darren ends up defecting. But we'll have to see. We don't know anything about him. So that's the state of Green right now. One dragon, Aemond losing his stuff, which makes me happy. Aegon is gone, and we know that Alicent wants to get Helena and the little princess, and she wants to leave. God knows where, but she said she just wants to live an unremarkable life. So that's where the state of Team Green is right now. And there's boats coming from Essos with Thailand. So that's kind of what went down there. I wanted to touch on some interesting moments. I love the moment between Corlys and I believe it is Alan. We see that Corlys has been very, very clumsily attempting to try to build a bridge with his son, both of his sons really now, but really with Alan because he's been working with him so much. And we see that, again, one of those misguided attempts happened in this episode where he's like, you should be happy, you should blah, blah, blah. And again, I think he was trying to say like, warm up a little bit to the crew, AKA me, be a little bit more interactive so that we can feel like, we want to be inspired to follow behind you because obviously Corlys wants Alan to succeed him in the boats. And Alan basically takes it as him getting criticism for his dad, right? And we see that afterwards, he says, well, I'm trying to help you. And then when, Adam's kind of like, Alan's like, what? And Corlys says, okay, whatever, leave me alone. And thank God, finally, Alan says what he's been letting just fester in his chest for probably since he was a child. We hear about how hard it was for him and his brother growing up, how poor they were, how they had to sit there scraping by with their watching their mother scrape by while Corlys wandered around with his trueborn children, giving them every luxury and every good thing. When it probably would have been very easy for Corlys to have at least provided a minimal amount of financial aid to them, right? Like Corlys, House Valyrian, how wealthy they are, there was absolutely no reason or no way that Corlys couldn't have found a way to discreetly send funds to take care of his kids. He absolutely could have done that. So everything Alan said, I had to agree with all of it. Corlys deserved to hear it. And he needed to hear it. You know, we saw that he tried to push him away, but I said, Corlys, if you want to really build this bridge with your kids, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you were a crappy father to them. And I'm using that loosely because he really wasn't a father to them at all. So I really like that though, because while Alan had that wall up where he wasn't saying anything and refusing to like talk to him or talk about his emotions, there was no way for Corlys to ever get in there. But the fact that he finally opened up and said something, that actually shows that he is still emotional. Like there's still a part of him that cares enough about what Corlys did and like for Corlys to try to even attempt to make amends. Right. But as I said, the only way that's going to work is if Corlys, now that Corlys has heard this, which again, I know he didn't like hearing, we saw that he was getting emotional, but he needed to hear it. He needed to understand why there was so much bitterness and anger from his son. Because I think what's hard too is because Adam's choosing not to sit in those emotions where his father is concerned. So I think, you know, Corlys is like, well, why aren't you more like Adam? Adam is much more amicable, but you know, Alan is handling things the way that he wants to. And again, being the older one, he probably felt it a lot more acutely than his brother did as well. So anyway, Corlys needed to hear it. He needed to understand where the source of this came from, where this resentment comes from, and why it's absolutely righteous. And it doesn't matter that he's a lord and all these other things. It's like you were still a father first and you failed. You failed in every way for those two boys. So to sit there and be kind of like expected to just be let in because now, as he said, now that you've lost all of your trueborn children, suddenly we exist. Yeah, he's like, that's really sus and it doesn't make us feel good. So he needed to hear that, and Corlys maybe didn't understand that that's what he was doing, but he needed that brought to light. So at this point, Corlys has two options. He can either decide to continue to be haughty and arrogant and just, you know, okay, fine, that's where you are, back off. Or if it really matters to him and he genuinely does feel bad, then he needs to humble himself and admit the fact that he was a dad and that he really should have been a better father to them. Even if he couldn't be a direct father, he could have helped them out in some way. So anyway, I do think the door is open is my point. And so if Corlys really is changing, which I do believe he is, then he's just going to have to be a little bit more humble about the situation with Adam in particular, or with Alan, I should say. Adam, I think, is a little bit more open to it. Either way, if Corlys survives, which I'm hoping, I really do hope he tries to work on, you know, creating some form of a bridge. So anyways, I thought that was a really kind of sweet and interesting moment. And I do hope that they get a chance to do something about it before this war tears everything apart. Was that pretty much the only thing I wanted to talk on with that? I believe so. So yeah, outside of that, we just had that final scene between Alicent and Rhaenyra where, you know, a few episodes ago, we saw that Rhaenyra risked everything and went to King's Landing, to the Sept, to talk to Alicent to try to come to a peaceful resolution if there was any way, shape, or form to get that. Alicent was not having it. She was hard-hearted at that moment, still very much on her high horse. And then even when she started to realize that she'd made a mistake, she refused to acknowledge it. She was like, nope, things are set in motion. It's fine. Again, she was doing that under the arrogance of believing that she would still be able to control her sons and that everything was going to be going her way. Now that things have spun violently out of control and she's lost all of her power in the palace, now she's come to Rhaenyra and she's basically like, yeah, I messed up. Effectively, she's like, yeah, I'm starting to see what you were talking about now. And I find it very interesting because she finally lays out kind of the whole history of how they got here, how they went from being besties as kids to this point where they are now. And, you know, she lays it all out like, yeah, you know, I think I resented you. I saw how you didn't seem to hold the things that I was taught were important to the same importance that I did. You know, there's all this kind of jealousy and resentment and things that clouded my judgment. And, you know, you made missteps as well, but like we both kind of got into this play. And I love too, by the way, before I get to that point about the judgment, how Rhaenyra very quickly was like, especially when Alicent like, oh, I took my husband, my lover. She's like, oh, You took a lover. Wow. The queen of morality took a lover. I love that Rhaenyra did not let that slide. But anyway, Alicent went on to say, like, all of these things happen, and now these things have just gone wildly out of control. And here we are where we're in the brink of a really horrible war. And I just want to find a way to get away from all of it. I just want to live a plain woman's life. I want to take my daughter and granddaughter and get out of here. And I feel like you're the only way to do that is if I give up. She's like, my son's leaving, Aemon's flying to Harrenhal, Aegon's in no condition to do anything about anything. You show up, I'll make sure everyone lays down arms, you take the throne, war's over. And understandably, Rhaenyra just lets Alicent have it for multiple reasons. She's like, first of all, yeah, I already knew you were jealous, girl. Thank you for finally admitting it that. Also, how dare you, you sitting here talking about, taking a lover after you really tried to persecute me and have me like strung up for doing the same thing. And then also, you can't be talking to me. You're being a hypocrite. She's like, yeah, but I never tried. I never claimed moral high ground. You flew your morality like a banner in my face. That's why I got to come for you right now. So I said, yes. Let her know, Rhaenyra. It's not about the fact that I'm being a hypocrite. She's like, I never claimed to be a moral, a paragon of virtue. You did. And then you would go do the same damn thing that you judged me for and tried to have my crown taken away for. Okay. God, I wish Kristen Cole had been there for that. But anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot he was in this episode. Anyway, so they have that. And Rhaenyra's like, well, it's too late. She's like, you're coming to me saying that you want to wash your hands and walk away. She's like, that's lovely that you get the opportunity to do that. People who have true duties, people who actually have real, like, born into real duties, we can't just walk away because it's hard. We don't have that opportunity. We don't have that option. And as I said in the episode, that's why Alicent and Cole get along so well, because both of them have absolutely no idea what it really means to have true duty, to understand what it really is to have the weight of the fate of millions in your hands. Like, they really don't. Like, the fact that she just wants to run away and live a peaceful life, it's like, it's nice that you have that option, girl. Rhaenyra's like, I am Targaryen one way or another. This hair, this bloodline, I can't just walk away. I can't in good conscience because I understand my duty and I respect it. That's something y'all don't understand. That's why y'all were never meant to be in a position of power. You can't just walk away when it gets hard. So anyway, Rhaenyra's like, yeah, what you're saying is interesting. I'll consider it, but just know that, like, it's been done. She's like, people have died. There's going to be bloodshed one way or another. It's not going to be some peaceful, we all just high five and walk away situation. Like she said, for me to take over King's Landing, I can't have any standing opposition, which means Aegon, the current usurper, he gotta go. And you know that. You know that. There's no circumventing that. Doesn't matter how broken you think he is. If he's still breathing and lucid, he gotta go. So she's like, you gotta choose right here and now. If we're gonna do this, we do it all the way. I take out Aegon, a son for a son, and I take the throne. Otherwise, we walk away from this like it never happened. So we see Alicent's like, in the end, yeah, okay, sure. And I mean, let's face it, she never liked Aegon. She doesn't like any of her children. But anyway, she likes Elena. She likes Elena because Elena's chill. But you get my point. So yeah, that was a very interesting conversation and very sad. Like, I think it was played well by both actresses in the sense that neither of them is happy about the situation, right? Like, this friendship that should have been such a beautiful thing just completely tarnished and broken for all eternity because of Alicent's just jealousy, her resentment, her wanting to punish Rhaenyra for what she perceived Rhaenyra was supposed to be. I mean, Rhaenyra's not innocent, don't get me wrong. She definitely has done her share of rights and wrongs here, but the difference is that Alicent really did kick this whole thing off. With her, just as Rhaenyra said in that conversation, you so quickly believe that the man that you were married to, who proved unequivocally through the entirety of your marriage that he was in love with my mother and prioritized his love for my mom and me, that he suddenly in his final minutes would switch and decide to put the kid that he barely gave any attention to, put him on the throne? Really, Alicent? Really? Like, if you weren't maybe sitting in your jealousy and resentment, you really think that you would have still thought that? So anyways, it's just sad that so much has happened and so many people have had to suffer for these two girls' relationship basically deteriorating when you think about it. This ripple effect of this tiff between these two girls that used to be besties really cost thousands of lives and will probably cost thousands more. Super, super sad. But anyway, Alicent now said that she just wants to leave. She wants to take her babies and leave. Rhaenyra's like, go girl, do what you need to do. I will show up in King's Landing in 3 days time, I guess, and see what happens. So we'll have to see what goes with that. That's where those girls ended it. And then the only other tidbits we got, my girl Rhaena out here trying to chase this dragon, walking for 40 days and 40 nights, shoes worn out, starving to death, but she found him or her. So we'll see what happens. We didn't get a chance to see how it's going to wrap up, but I really do hope she gets her dragon because she's definitely put her heart and soul into this. So if she does, apparently this dragon is huge. We don't know where this dragon falls in the hierarchy of all the dragons as far as size, but either way, I do hope my girl Rhaena gets it and she's able to join the fight. That'll be a good replacement for that loser Ulf. And then I think the last little side bit, like I said, was Criston Cole. There's not much I have to say about that, honestly. He's just still being a big whiny loser as usual and basically saying that he's waiting for sweet death. So I'm like, good, great. In fact, why don't you just do yourself a favor? Just put that sword on the ground and just do it for us. Please, we were done. We don't need you. If this is your attitude, goodbye. We're done here. I don't care. So yeah, that was pretty much it for the finale. Like I said, we got a lot, but I'm glad that we do have all the chess pieces in motion. As I said, a lot of people are headed to Harrenhal right now for the first battle. We got the ocean battle that's also starting to kick off. And we got a bunch of dragons that are ready to go in one way or another. They said they're going to go to Harrenhal and hopefully stop Aemond from even getting this whole war kicked off. So we'll have to see how it all goes, but we got to wait till next season to see how it all ends up unfolding. But I think the season was good, and I expect to see that next season we're going to have a lot of things kick off. So I am looking forward to that. So I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed watching it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love to this video. If this is all that you watch from me, then I guess we will see you in season 3. But if not, I do hope you can find other things in my catalog to enjoy, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.